Hey guys, welcome to another video. We're going to go into spoiler talk for Avengers Endgame. So let's get started. First, I don't really like how they made Thor being a drunk in the movie. Because they're supposed to be mighty and stuff like that. And that was his way of coping with losing a lot of his friends to Thanos snap. But still, I don't like how they did that to Thor. I mean, I can see them having Thor lock himself into this mini hut, but I I don't know. I like what they did to him in the final battle, which I'll kind of get into later. But for most of the movie, he was a drunk, and I don't like that. But pretty much, the Avengers are mourning the loss of their fallen teammates. After Thanos did the snap. Captain Marvel actually finds Tony Stark and Nebula, brings them to Earth, the remaining Avengers. Tony Stark's reaction to seeing Captain America didn't really go good at first, because he hasn't seen him since Captain America Civil War, so Tony Stark's still butthurt of Steve Rogers trying to hide that Bucky Barnes killed his parents. Regardless, it doesn't even matter that Bucky Barnes was hypnotized or not. Tony Stark was still, I guess, hurt that Steve Rogers thought it was a good idea to hide that fact from him. Totally with you there, Tony. So, their reaction, I like that encountered. Even like how they made Tony Stark a father. Tony Stark marrying Pepper Potts and then having them have a daughter. Thought that was cool. Pretty much then we find out in the movie that Thanos used the Infinity Gauntlet to destroy all 7 stones. So the remaining Avengers pretty much concocts this idea to go back in time to get all the stones in history. And it was actually Ant-Man's idea, because Ant-Man, as you've seen in the scene after the credits for Ant-Man and the Wasp, was stuck in the quantum world. Well, he got out in this movie. He was the one who actually thought of time traveling. They went to Iron Man. Iron Man at first refused. Well, they went to Bruce Banner, who decided it was a cool idea to put himself, fuse him with the Hulk per se, in terms of keeping the Hulk's body while keeping Bruce Banner's mind. So Agent Hulk, I don't know what to call him, Hulk Banner, I don't know. But now Bruce Banner is green. Body of the Hulk still has the mind of Bruce Banner. But pretty much then later on, Iron Man says, "Hey, yeah, I'll help you build that time machine. Just be prepared for time to last back some once we succeed." So we see the Avengers go team up with each other to go back in time during points of time. We see Hawkeye and Black Widow go to nowhere in the year of 2014, and we could see the Red Skull again, and pretty much the same thing as we saw in Infinity War with Gamora's death replayed, but it wasn't Gamora who died this time. It was Hawkeye wanted to die because he already lost his family by his family getting dusted. So he wanted to die, so they can get the Soul Stone. So Black Widow can do that. Give the Soul Stone to the Avengers. But no, Black Widow stopped him, killing herself so Hawkeye can do that. And I was so crushed too, cause like I was kind of like I got emotionally attached to the Black Widow, and Black Widow is awesome. I was hoping she would get her own spin-off movie, cause she's a badass. You see that SJWC character development over the course of 10 years made her a badass, made her beloved size, making her a Mary Sue and stuff like that. Anyways, over I got emotional, like that broke my heart to see that Black Widow is now dead. Because I was like, I want to see a movie of the Black Widow. Why? Why? And it'll be interesting. But my father said he wasn't surprised because I saw it with my father. I saw it in Endgame with my father. And he said that he heard that Scarlett Johansson wasn't planning to be in any more Avengers in any of the MCU movies after Infinity War. I mean, after Endgame. So they had to find a way to end her story. And I guess that's a good way to end her story. By killing her character off. Speaking of killing characters off, Iron Man is all dead too. And there was one person in the theater that was crying for like 7-8 minutes, and he was the one who pretty much put on the Infinity Gauntlet, because by this time all gems were back together. And he used it. And he used it against Thanos and his army to just make them disappear. But in, I guess, an exact price, per se, like, I guess he died from internal burning. I don't know exactly what was the cause of Iron Man dying in Endgame, but it was after, it would, by using the glove was definitely an effect of it. But jumping back to the time travel. So Hawkeye's alive. He brings the Soul Stone back. Bruce Banner, he goes to that the ministry where we see that monk woman's Doctor Strange meets, and Bruce Banner gets the Time Stone. We see War Machine and Nebula work together. I forget what type of stone they get, but they get that stone that they're going for. But something in the past kind of prevents Nebula from returning to the present as soon as she wanted to. Because it was said in the plan, we're going to go in the past, we're going to get the stones, then return to the present. So, War Machine returned to the present before Nebula. Nebula tried to, but something in the past prevented her. If you guys haven't seen the movie yet, you guys gotta see the movie to know what I am talking about. But something very close to something Nebula related that prevents Nebula from leaving. And it's not by Nebula's choice. But what we do get to see is Gamora. Like, cause we get to see Nebula and Gamora working together when they were still children of Thanos, like that version. So we get to see Nebula, the Avengers version, and then Nebula and the Gamora that was working for Thanos. So something happens to Nebula that prevents her from traveling back into the prison as soon as she wants to. But this Nebula, our Nebula, the good Nebula, convinces, pretty much pulls a Luke Skywalker to Gamora. Says, we both know you don't want to do this, Gamora. We both know that you want Thanos dead. Hey, I'm from the future, so I know this. So we get to see Gamora, past Gamora, working with the Avengers for the first time. And we get to see Ant-Man, Captain America, and Iron Man going to the... Well, I guess you can also say the Hulk going to the Battle of New York. So that takes place into the final battle of the first movie. But, oh yeah, and the one rule about time travel is don't let your past self see you. So, and there was everybody else except for Iron Man, or more like Captain America, was successful in that. Because pretty much we see that Captain America gets the Tesseract. I'm not going to tell you how he gets the Tesseract, but he gets the Tesseract from some Shield agents, per se. Again, I'm not going to go into the specifics. You guys gotta see the movie. Purposely can keep some things hidden from you guys so you guys can see the movie to find out. And pretty much Captain America's past self, the Avengers Captain America sees the Endgame Captain America. So the Avengers Captain America, because Loki escapes temporarily. So the Avengers Captain America thinks that Endgame Captain America is Loki. So Endgame Captain America has to knock Avengers Captain America out. The way he beats his own ass was pretty cool. And so then Captain America, Endgame Captain America, and Iron Man goes back in time one more time to get the Tesseract, because something happens to the Tesseract where they have to go back in time to get it, because they couldn't get the Tesseract from the Battle of New York. And Captain America was able to see Peggy Carter again, but he did not talk to Peggy Carter. And Tony was able to interact with his father. But Tony Cole went by Howard Potts. So his father's name and Pepper Potts. And it was cool. And we could see this hard father and son moment between the two of them. And it was really sweet. It was really cool. It was nice to see father and son talking to each other. Even though the father did not know that he was talking to the son, all grown up. Because at this point, Tony's mother was still pregnant with Tony. So Tony didn't want to create a paradox saying, "Oh hey Howard, I'm your son from the future." So practically they get all the stones. The Hulk, he does the snap to bring everybody back, but we don't see that at first. Thanos attacks Avengers Mansion or whatever, the base for the Avengers, which makes the place blow up, and pretty much there's this big fight sequence. Oh, and we saw Thor and Rocket going to Asgard, and we get to see the Thor's mother talking some sense into Thor, was I was like, after I saw that, I said, thank you, Thor's mother. Now we can see Thor coming back, being himself again. Yippee! So, and on top of the axe that we saw, that was crafted for him in Infinity War, we saw Thor's hammer making another appearance, because Thor takes the axe and the hammer back into the present. And so, jumping back to the base of the Avengers getting blown up by Thanos, uh, Thanos has Thor bound to the ground, and uh, Thor only had his axe against Captain America, against Thanos, I mean. And then we see Thor trying to call out his hammer. But then we pretty much see Thor's hammer hitting Thanos. But then we see Captain America wielding Thor's hammer. And in that movie, I was saying, what? And that was literally the first time where me nerding out in the theaters showed on my face, because I was just saying, what? And a lot of people say, what the hell? It was so awesome. That was so intense, because the last person that we saw wielding Thor's hammer outside of Thor, technically was in prison, was Vision. So that was cool, being able to see Captain America finally wielding Thor's hammer. So we get to see Thor, Iron Man, and Captain America fighting Thanos for a bit. And then we hear uh Falcon like pretty much calling Captain America on his comic, saying, Captain, look behind you. And there was the sorcerers of mystic arts opening doors. The first thing we see is Black Panther, his sister, and a Wakanda bodyguard coming out. And I was kind of like saying, oh my god, man, I kind of knew this, but I was saying, oh my god. And then we saw pretty much everybody that was vanished by Thanos coming out of multiple windows. I was saying, holy shit, come on, man. And we even seen Gamora. Pretty much